Today, we're taking you on an unforgettable journey through Portugal, a tiny country packed with epic natural drama, from ancient volcanoes to golden cliffs and misty forests. Portugal boasts some of Europe's most incredible natural wonders, all right here in its mainland and magical islands. We're counting down the top 15, sharing their captivating stories and brief histories like legends around a campfire. Pack your sense of wonder. Let's go. Number 15. Poço da Alagoinha, Flores Island's Jurassic paradise, Azores. Imagine stepping into a lost world, cascading waterfalls tumbling into emerald pools surrounded by lush, prehistoric greenery. Poço da Alagoinha on Flores Island in Portugal's Azores is a hidden waterfall haven, often called the end of the world for its remote beauty. Formed by volcanic activity millions of years ago, this spot exploded in popularity after appearing in films and photos resembling Jurassic Park. Flores, discovered by Portuguese sailors in the 15th century, got its name from the abundance of flowers, but its real treasure are these misty, fern-draped cascades. Hike the trails, swim in the crystal pools, and feel like you've discovered a secret chapter in Portugal's volcanic saga. Number 14. Praia da Falésia, Algarve's cliff-backed masterpiece. Golden sands stretch endlessly beneath towering multicolored cliffs striped in ochre, white, and red like nature's own abstract painting. Praia da Falésia in the Algarve is one of Portugal's most photographed beaches, sculpted over millennia by wind and waves eroding soft sandstone. The cliffs, rich in iron oxides, glowed dramatically at sunset. Locals have cherished this coastline for centuries, but it gained fame in the 20th century as tourism boomed. Walk its 6-kilometer length, listen to the Atlantic roar, and let Portugal's southern coast tell its timeless tale of erosion, color, and endless horizon. Number 13. Islet of Vilafranca do Campo, São Miguel's perfect natural pool, Azores. Off São Miguel Island, a tiny volcanic islet forms a near-perfect circular lagoon connected by a narrow channel, like a giant natural swimming pool in the ocean. The islet of Vilafranca do Campo was born from a submarine eruption thousands of years ago. Its crater flooded to create this sheltered paradise. Protected today, it was used by locals for centuries as a safe bathing spot. Swim with fish in turquoise waters or kayak around. It's Portugal's Azores showing off its fiery origins in the most serene way possible. Number 12. Parque Natural do Sudoeste Alentano y Costa Vicentina, wild Atlantic coastline. Rugged cliffs plunge into crashing waves along Portugal's southwest coast, where wildflowers blanket the hills and storks nest on sea stacks. This vast natural park protects one of Europe's last untamed coastlines, home to otters, dolphins, and rare plants. Shaped by Atlantic storms over eons, it was a strategic spot for ancient navigators and later fishermen. Hike the Rota Vicentina trails, spot migrating birds, and feel the raw power of Portugal's western edge, a place where nature still reigns supreme. Number 11. Cabo de São, Madeira's sky-high cliff views. At 580 meters, Cabo de São boasts one of Europe's tallest sea cliffs, with a glass skywalk jutting out over the abyss for heart-pounding panoramas. Formed by volcanic forces, this dramatic drop was a lookout for Madeiran settlers since the 15th century Portuguese discovery. Farmers still cultivate tiny terraces far below using cable cars. Step onto the platform, gaze at the endless Atlantic, and sense Portugal's island spirit, where earth meets sky in breathtaking vertigo. Number 10. Benagil Cave, Algarve's hidden cathedral of the sea. Imagine paddling into a secret world where sunlight pours through a skylight in the rock, illuminating a golden beach like a divine spotlight. Benagil Cave, a mesmerizing sea grotto carved by the relentless Atlantic waves over millions of years, formed from Miocene limestone during a time when dinosaurs roamed. This cave in southern Portugal's Algarve region has whispered secrets to smugglers who once hid their treasures here: tobacco, alcohol, and forbidden goods stashed in its shadowy corners. Picture yourself as an explorer, gliding through turquoise waters, feeling the echo of ancient tides. But remember, this fragile wonder in Portugal demands respect. Tread lightly to preserve its magic for generations. Number 9. Peneda-Gerês National Park, northern Portugal's wild heart. Deep in northern Portugal, where misty mountains cradle ancient secrets, lies Peneda-Gerês, the country's only national park, established in 1971 to guard its untamed beauty. This vast wilderness, spanning 703 square kilometers, has been a human haven since megalithic times, with stone tombs from the 3rd millennium BC dotting its hills like whispers from the past. Envision hiking through regenerating oak forests and peat bogs, spotting wild Guarano ponies, descendants of Celtic herds from a millennium ago, galloping free. Romans once roamed these paths, leaving roads that cyclists still trace today. In Portugal's rugged north, Peneda-Gerês is a living story of harmony between nature and time, inviting you to lose yourself in its hushed trails and summer adventures. Number 8. Douro Valley, the River of Gold's terraced symphony. Picture terraced vineyards cascading down steep hillsides like emerald stairs to heaven, reflected in the winding Douro River, Portugal's River of Gold. This UNESCO World Heritage Site in northern Portugal has been a cradle of viticulture for over 2,000 years, with Romans planting the first vines during their Iberian reign. But the real magic unfolded in the 17th century when British merchants fortified local wines with brandy, birthing the legendary port. Demarcated in 1756 as the world's oldest regulated wine region, the Douro Valley tells a tale of human ingenuity: hand-built stone walls defying gravity, harvests under golden suns. Wander its quintas, estates, sip the nectar of history, and feel the pulse of Portugal's winemaking soul. Number 7. Sete Cidades, Azores' twin lakes of forbidden love. High in the volcanic cradle of São Miguel Island in Portugal's Azores archipelago, 2 lakes shimmer like jewels, one blue, one green, born from a legend of star-crossed lovers. Sete Cidades, a massive caldera formed by ancient eruptions, holds Lagoa Azul and Lagoa Verde, their colors a poetic remnant of a princess's blue-eyed tears and her shepherd's green-eyed sorrow, forbidden by a king's decree. Dating back to medieval tales of 7 bishops fleeing Muslim invasions in 734 AD, this island of 7 cities has enchanted explorers since Ptolemy's maps. Hike the rims, gaze at the ocean horizon, and let Portugal's mythical Azores weave their spell. a story of love etched in volcanic fire. Number 6. Ria Formosa National Park, Algarve's labyrinth of life. In southern Portugal's Algarve, a shimmering mosaic of lagoons, marshes, and barrier islands unfolds like a living painting, Ria Formosa, protected as a national park since 1987. Shaped by millennia of tides and the devastating 1755 earthquake that reshaped its shores, this wetland wonder spans 60 kilometers, a sanctuary for flamingos wading in salty pools and rare birds nesting in dunes. Romans once thrived here, leaving traces in ancient towns like Balsa, while today it's a haven for biodiversity with over 1,500 species calling it home. Stroll its trails, spot elusive chameleons, and immerse in Portugal's coastal tale, where the sea and land dance in eternal harmony. Number 5. Serra da Estrela, Portugal's snowy sentinel. Towering in central Portugal, Serra da Estrela, the Star Mountain, rises to 1,993 meters, blanketed in winter snow like a frozen fairy tale. Named from a shepherd's quest to touch the stars, this granite range, part of the Sistema Central, has echoed with human footsteps for 7,000 years, megalithic stones aligning with ancient skies to herald spring. In the early 20th century, it became Portugal's alpine retreat, with sanatoriums drawing the elite for pure air cures, rivaling Swiss resorts. Ski its slopes, taste creamy serra cheese from nomadic shepherds, and hike glacial valleys, a Portuguese epic of peaks and pastoral legends. Number 4. Laurisilva Forest, Madeira's ancient whispering woods. Step into a prehistoric dream on Portugal's Madeira island, where the Laurisilva Forest, a UNESCO relic from 15 to 40 million years ago, cloaks misty mountains in eternal green. This subtropical laurel woodland, once blanketing southern Europe, survived ice ages in Macaronesia's warm embrace, covering 20% of Madeira since Portuguese explorers arrived in 1419. Wander Levada trails beside ancient trees draped in moss, spotting endemic birds like the Madeiran long-toed pigeon. It's a living fossil, a tale of resilience, Portugal's enchanted forest where time stands still, inviting you to breathe in the whispers of tertiary eras. Number 3. Cabo de São Vicente, Algarve's edge of the world. At Portugal's southwestern tip in the Algarve, Cabo de São Vicente juts into the Atlantic like a defiant sentinel, once deemed the end of the world by ancient mariners. Sacred since Neolithic times with standing menhirs, Greeks called it Ophiusa, Romans Promontorium Sacrum, a holy promontory haunted by myths. Named for a 4th century martyr whose relics washed ashore guarded by ravens, it became Prince Henry the Navigator's launchpad for discoveries in the 15th century. Stand on its cliffs, feel the wind that carried explorers to unknown horizons, and watch the lighthouse, built in 1846 on Franciscan ruins, pierce the sky. In Portugal, it's where history meets the infinite sea. Number 2. Berlengas Archipelago, Portugal's Atlantic outpost. Off Portugal's central coast, the Berlengas Archipelago emerges like a rugged jewel from the Atlantic, a UNESCO biosphere reserve teeming with seabirds and secrets. Inhabited since 1000 BC by Phoenicians who worshipped gods here, it hosted a 16th century monastery for shipwrecked sailors, later fortified in the 17th century against pirates. The dramatic fort of Saint João Batista, rising from rocks like a storybook castle, guards crystal coves where divers explore underwater caves. Hike Berlenga Grande's trails, spot rare plants like Armeria berlengensis, and feel the pull of Portugal's maritime saga, an isolated paradise where history and nature collide. Number 1. Lagoa de Fogo, Azores' fiery crater jewel. Our top wonder crowns São Miguel in Portugal's Azores, Lagoa de Fogo, the Lake of Fire, nestled in a volcanic caldera formed 15,000 years ago. This azure gem, the island's highest lake at 575 meters, erupted last in 1563, its fiery birth etched in legends of ancient explorers, perhaps Vikings, 700 years before Portuguese sailors claimed it in 1427. Protected since 1974, its pristine shores and hiking trails offer views of wild peninsulas and endemic flora. Descend to its hidden beach, feel the geothermal warmth, and embrace Portugal's volcanic heart, a story of creation and serenity in one breathtaking frame. There you have it, Portugal's top 15 natural wonders, each one a masterpiece of geology, legend, and raw beauty. From volcanic craters to cliff-edge drama, this country never stops surprising. Which new addition is calling your name? Tell me in the comments. Would you hike Flores' waterfalls or cliff-walk Madeira? Like if you're adding Portugal to your bucket list, subscribe for more epic adventures, and hit the bell. Obrigado for watching, friends. See you in the next one.